So welcome back, my dear students. Another lecture in the labor union. Another part in the labor union. We'll start now for another part. And actually, this part is about the union management cooperation issues. When the union and the management cooperate, what are the topics by which the union and the management cooperate together? Cooperation and joint efforts, employees involvement team. This is the union and the management cooperation, and also employees ownership. These are the things which they make the effort. What the meaning of grievance management? The complaints. Indication these are the components of the grievance management, the complaints, indications of employee dissatisfaction. Usually the complaints reflects a dissatisfaction in the organization. There is a dissatisfaction. The people are not very happy with what's going on. Grievances, a complaints formally stated in writing. So the grievances here is a written. It's a stated in writing a complaint. It's a kind of written complaint. That's we call it grievances. So it's a written complaint. Grievance procedures, formal channels of communications used to resolve the grievances. Union representations also the rights. The rights also, or the union representation try to solve the problem of the grievances. So please write it, and it will be solved by the formal channels of communication and through the union. These are the grievances. So I will say here, define grievances. Control and C, like what we said, it's a kind of how to solve a problem. Define, Control and V. Define grievances. Okay, and what are the procedures to solve it? Then what are the procedures to solve it? How we can solve these grievances? How we can solve it? This is another point we should take in the concern when we talk about the grievances. So here is the question now. Here is our question right now. Define grievances. What are the procedures to solve the grievances? What are the procedures to solve it? What are the procedures to solve it? So we'll say here about 1 minute. Just let me remind you that the grievances are written. It's a written complaint. It's a complaint in a form of writing. We write this complaint. Okay. Shall stay here like around 1 minute, and before we leave, stay a few minutes before we leave. We talk about the responsibilities of grievance management. So here now, who is responsible about the grievance management? Who's responsible? Typical responsibilities, grievance management. Who's responsible about that? That's what we will see right now. And I will just enlarge the screen so that it can be enough for everyone to see it. And see here now, we have the human resource and we have the managers. The grievance management, how will I handle the written complaints? How can I handle the written complaints? So the human resource assists in designing the grievance procedures, like the steps which will be done to handle any grievance or to handle any grievance or any problem of that had a written complaint from the worker side, monitor trends in grievance rates for the organization. This written complaints are, let's say the grievances are the written complaints. So are the rate of them is increasing or no? If the rate is increasing, that means that's a non-satisfactory sign for the organization. It means that there is something is going wrong as long as these written complaints are increasing. May assist in preparing grievances cases for arbitration. We said arbitration is meaning like there is a third party will interfere, a third party will interfere in solving the problems. A third party will interfere in solving the problem between the managers and the employees. May have responsibility for settling grievances. Also, human resource may be a player in solving these complaints, written complaints. Maybe it will be one of the parties that will help to do that. It's not only to check and monitor the procedures and to see the rates is increasing or no of the grievances, but also it can help in solving the problems of the workers. Managers, what will the managers do for the written complaints from the worker side? Operates within positive of the grievances procedures, attempt to resolve the grievances where possible, document grievances cases for the grievances procedures, engage in grievances prevention efforts. So he will try to reduce the number of the complaints. The manager also, so the manager and the human resource, both of them can handle the complaints and can try to reduce these complaints. Here, the steps of the grievances procedures actually. These are the steps in grievances procedures. And like I showed you here, it's like what we will do in these steps. Let me enlarge it so that it can be seen for all my dear students, because the slide is not that enough. So here we say the step one, discussion of written grievances between the union, steward, and the supervisor. So there is a grievance from the workers. So it should be discussed between the union steward. The union steward is the guy who represents the union and the supervisor of work. Meeting between chief, steward, and supervisor manager. So they will make a meeting, manager, supervisor's manager, and or HR manager. Third step, meeting between committee of union officers and companies managers. Look at this. So here also the committee of unions, the committee of unions officers who are responsible, they will come and meet the company's managers. Then there is also step 4, meeting between national union representatives and company executives or corporate industrial relation officers. Then step 5, arbitration by the impartial third party. If there is no any solution, then they will go to these solutions. So it goes like this: step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, till step 5. Again, I will say the steps of the grievance procedures. Step 1, discussion of written grievances between the union steward and the supervisor. Step 2, a meeting between chief steward and supervisor manager. Step 3, meeting between committee of union officers and company's managers. Step 4, national union representatives and company executives or corporate industrial relation officer. Step 5, impartial third party. These are the how this problem will be solved and how this problem will be solved and what are the procedures in grievance procedures of the steps of grievance procedures. Shall end this video right now with this question: what are the, then here we will go steps in and I will take this here and I will add this to here right now. What are the steps in grievance procedures? Like we said, we have 5 steps, each step followed by the next one. And those steps again, let me show it to you. They are here. Step 1, discussion of written grievances between the union steward and supervisor. Step 2, meeting between the chief steward and the supervisor manager. Step 3, meeting between the committee of union officers and the company's manager. Step 4, meeting between national union representatives and company executives. Step 5, arbitration by impartial third party, which will interfere for arbitration. Arbitration means like he's intermediate to solve the problem. He mediated to solve the problem. Again, I will go to the question and leave you here like around 5 minutes before we end this part. Thank you. What are our question now? What are the procedures? Our question is, what are the procedures or steps in grievance procedures? Grievance procedures. Please give yourself time to write it from the notes, and here is the answer of this question. Thank you so much. And here I will go to the question back. I will leave here a sale for around 5 minutes for you to collect the answers from you guys. You can send it in the chat box here. You can send it here in the chat box. Thank you. Or please write it down in your own notebook. Preferably, write these answers inside your notebook. Inside your notebook. Thank you.